Hey guys, how you guys been doing? Today we got ourselves a match against Triple Finish. And as you can probably tell, he's got a Blissey, he's got that Mandy Bus. And honestly, if somebody decides to run such ingredients, you're just spelling for long matches. You're just asking for them. And I like myself long matches. I tend to find them very interesting and, very in-depth. You just go into it and everything just becomes that much more personal. But anyways, let's go. Hililisk against the Mamoswine. Now unfortunately we both decided to play net offensive. I was kinda hoping he's gonna put up the Stealth Rocks, realizing myself and him probably realizing that I do expect him to be focus sash, so I'm gonna switch out, preserve my Hililisk for later on for the things like Mandibus and so forth. But unfortunately that was not the case. Now Heracross comes in next. Of course, Mamoswine being fearing anything from Heracross, he's gonna switch out to Mandibus. Probably a physical defensive one, seeing the Blissey, and afterwards switch out to my Gardevoir because I'm actually a Mega Stone Gardevoir. I do have the immunity to the likes of getting knockoff, getting rid of my own health item, as well as the ability to turn. So Mega Stones aren't only powerful; they give you some certain immunity, such as immune to Trick and all those useful things. So you gotta have that one in mind. But most people, you guys probably know this already. But for all you guys that don't know, you're immune to Trick. Your Choice Scarf, they cannot trick you. They cannot knock off. They cannot thief. They just cannot get rid of your Mega Stone, and that makes it that much more dangerous. Afterwards, again, Heracross comes in, Paralyzation on the switch. I did Future Sight, but he managed to avoid that quite nicely by switching out back to his Mandibus. And here is where I'm gonna just explain this one, because this one is crazy. I still had this one old mindset that this Mandibus could still be one of those 5th generation RU tier Mandibuses that I've been facing the most in my experience when facing Mandibus. And most of those had Braybird still. But now that I think about it, in 6th gen, Braybird on Mandibus will probably not be the thing anymore, so I should have been having that one in mind, but I was playing it super safe. By switching out to Gardevoir, I was thinking Gardevoir is not as important as Heracross because I want to preserve it for Blissey, but as you can see, that was definitely not the case. So again, I'm still not too sure. He could still hide it from me, and I want to be 100% sure because I cannot afford to lose my Heracross. I was paralyzed, I was slower, I just can't. Anyways, he managed to avoid Future Sight yet again. That's quite incredible. That never happened to me, like legitimately. But I guess this team isn't really well balanced around Future Sight, because if you really make a great balanced Future Sight team, there is so little ways people can manage to avoid. I'm not kidding. There are so many good positions, good combinations of balancing your team with Future Sight that can handle Mandibus without a problem. But my team, not so well. I should have put a little bit more efforts into picking what Pokemon should go well with Future Sight Gardevoir, because it plays an essence. It's a breaking of walls. It's a breaker of stuff that should not be break in the first place. That's how Future Sight works. But anyways, I decided Licklick is an important Pokemon. I want to Wish Pass to myself. I want to regain most of my health because he's got the Rotom, and Licklick is very, very bulky. So he's gonna turn with his Mega Medicham. That's quite incredible, but I still had these defensive Gyarados with Intimidate. Stealth Rocks have still not been put into place, so that's pretty great, but still, it's a problem. It's still a legitimate problem, this Medicham of his. Now, luckily, he did go for something that to resist, and afterwards I go for the Toxic. Now, the reason I run Toxic on Gyarados, because first, I'm a defensive one with Roar, and second is because, things like Slowbro and just legitimate things like Vaporeon tends to wall you and pressure them into getting poison, can make some clerics, go into much even greater pressure to play cleric for a turn. So that's what I'm trying to do here. But this turn I do make a great move, switching out to my Deoxys, expecting him to go for the trick, expect me to switch out to my Licklicky because he's probably gonna try to trick my one of my main walls, and that would make the game much harder to handle. But I guess I could switch out to my Mega Gardevoir and pretty much being immune to Trick, but I just couldn't risk me maybe making a misplay and him not going for the Trick. So again, he does go for the Aromatherapy, gets rid of all the status inflicts that I've decided to go for, and afterwards of course just go for the Wish. I'm thinking, okay, you know what, I could possibly Wish Pass this to my Gardevoir and pretty much regain most of my health because again, knockoff is not gonna get rid of it. He does reveal the defog, so that means that stealth rocks that I did decide to put up with my Deoxys are gonna be blown away. He does run a stealth rock Pokemon, and yet he's got the defog Pokemon, which is kind of counterproductive, but it depends. It really does depend on the situation. So when you think about it a little bit more deeper, it kind of makes sense, because sometimes you want the rocks up and sometimes you just don't care about it. It's strange, but I can see it work. Anyways, I'm gonna switch out to my Heracross. He does go for the T-Wave. That's something I was kind of expecting. Plus, I did go for the Moonblast because I was thinking Future Sight is something I keep on doing. So I want to change my plan, but I guess I should have just playing it safe. Anyways, he still is fearing me to run, you know, of course, I do have Close Combat, I do have the Guts. I'm a Bulk Up Heracross, which unfortunately isn't really working for me. I really want to, you know, like Bulk Up and do something about, do something about the situation that I was using this Heracross in. But for some reason, Heracross with Bulk Up just is really hard to use. It is really hard, and I just don't have any open areas. And yet again, I've yet not seen his last move, and this is what I'm fearing, him still hitting the Brave Bird for me. Yet that is very dumb. I'm pretty sure you guys are facepalming right now, but I was so thinking of the 5th generation, because Mandibus on the Wi-Fi, I haven't really faced them that often as many other people have, especially on Showdown. But really, I don't know, I'm probably gonna have this one in mind, that Mandibus with Brave Bird is not that big of a thing that it used to be. Plus, even back in the days, it was more like, you know, other things. But right now, again, just trying to regain most of my health. Just gonna go for the Protect, just in case this turn he actually goes for something else. I wanna kind of force him into, kind of pressure him into over predicting afterwards. Maybe he's even gonna high jump kick. That would have kind of result in a crash, so that would be pretty good. I'm not even sure, does high jump kick Protect actually work? Does he actually, in this generation, does he still lose HP? You guys tell me, is that even a thing? But right now I'm switching out to my Gyarados. Again, still taking the moves. I don't decide to go for the Toxic. Back before, the Toxic was pretty much the pressure, the ability to go for Aromatherapy, and afterwards just go for the Waterfall to see how much I can actually do towards this Rotom. Seeing that he did have the Trick, probably indicates that he's offensive, so he's not going to be taking it as well as a defensive Rotom would. But I switch out to my Licklicky. He does get a crit with the Volt Switch, and that does a lot of damage. That's actually quite scary, to be perfectly honest. But luckily he did decide to go for the Volt Switch. I'm gonna go for the Wish. I'm gonna Protect yet again, because again I need to preserve. But he's gonna blow me away, and finally he realized, no, well, he didn't realize, he revealed me his last move slot move. So that's something I really gotta keep in mind. Defog, Roost, Knockoff, as well as Whirlwind. So definitely a thing I should expect from the last slot to be running Whirlwind and whatnot. So he does go for the Scimitar. He's just gonna grab me. He's gonna just throw me. Screw gravity. Thinking about this is incredible. Like, how does that work? Looking at it, it looks like his own tongue weighs a ton. And Blissey, like, how can that even grab? And just, did you see Blissey's attack stats? Like, how is that physically even possible? But I guess it is. I mean, it's Pokemon game. Screw logic. Anyways, we switch out. I was really close attacking directly, but he really outplayed me here. He knows I'm not gonna offensively attack, and that's gonna allow him to put up the rocks. There is no avoiding it. Again, if I can manage to put up my own rocks, then his own Mandibus can, you know, defog, and that's gonna get rid of both our rocks. But he's probably not gonna do it anymore, because I have a defensive Gyarados, and he's probably gonna like the whole residual damage on the switch. But anyways, again, Heracross, same old situation. But I do have an upper hand now, because I'm starting to realize that his thing that we saw back before, his Mandibus, is running Whirlwind. So I already know his full set, and I'm not gonna make a mistake anymore. It's done. Let's go. So going for the Close Combat, or I believe it was Mega Horn, because I don't want to be PP stall my Close Combat a little bit too much, because again, I've used it, you know, a couple of times. I want to be sure that I have one for, you know, for Blissey. But then again, you know, it's still Heracross. Mega Horn would probably be enough, more than enough, with Guts Boost. But Stone Edge, expecting him to not roost, and afterwards go for the Close Combat, expecting him to roost. I was like, you know what, 1 PP, we can lose it, as long as this thing is going down. And finally we managed to take down the Mandibus. I could have handled it way sooner now that I think about it, but for some reason that Brave Bird and me losing Heracross, being scared of losing Heracross to handle Blissey, and not being sure if his Blissey is truly max special defense, because those are really fair on the physical side. Yeah, I play a little bit questionable, but we still managed, and we didn't lose much from our past mistakes. So I guess Heracross still, in the end of the day, still managed to took out that Pokemon. Anyways, we switch out to Deoxys. Now I'm pretty sure he's gonna Ice Shard at the amount of HP I'm at, but I'm pretty sure, I don't know. Deoxys is something I barely ever use, but is Extreme Speed even a feint on it? Like, I swear, I barely ever face it, and you know, I've seen it here and there. It's a very fast entry hazard supporter, but Extreme Speed is something I've decided to go for. I'm normally pretty faster than him, and I did manage to outspeed him, but he did switch out to his Mega Medichang, go for the Fake Out, afterwards switches out to Rotom, as I again go for the Toxic, but I managed to miss. So that's quite unfortunate, because again, if I can, you know, force that Blissey to go for the aromatherapy, that's one turn save that I can do something else without fearing him playing offensive on the switch with form of Cymatos and all those things. Thinking about it, I mean, how can Blissey like Cymatos and Gyarados? Like, some of the things, like Cymatos and Blissey should be limited to some weight. Like, think about that one, like Rhydon, right? Like Steelix, are you serious? But anyways, I switch out to Lickly. He does get a crit. He's just gonna go for the T-Bolt. It's fine. Now that I think about it, Lickly has been getting some crits from this Rotom, but I guess there is really no avoiding it. Crits happen left to right. It was my mistake, because this is where I really made a mistake. The thing is, the reason I switch out to Licky is because I was predicting his Blissey to come in. This was kind of like a force switch, but he didn't do that. And I should have Moonblast in the first place, because, you know, Rotom is going to be taken down, and I wouldn't have lost my Lick like that. But that was definitely a mistake, and I'm going to need to try to manage. But unfortunately, he did paralyze me now. And not to mention that I don't have any Heal Bell supports anymore. My Cleric has been taken down, and this is pretty much coming down to close. So he's going to go for direct, you know, just direct Cymatos. Fortunately, I didn't Heal Bell, which means that Heracross is paralyzed still. But, you know, Heracross is still a threat to not be messed around with. So this turn, I believe I did decide to go for the Future Sight, did I not? I believe I did. And here is where it stands. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. Future Sight striking his Medichang, just Oko clean take it out. You know, Stealth Rocks were there, but still, that was incredible. As you can see, you know, Future Sight was aimed at something else that was set up on, and that is how Future Sight works. Anyways, I thought I'm done because he's special, but he's physical, and I'm like, oh yes, but then I got paralyzed. I'm gonna do calcs just to see how much guts Close Combat would have done against him. It would probably Oko him. I mean, it's a Granny, even after being a fighting type after that, it would probably been enough. And now he's actually a rock type, if I'm not mistaken. So I switch out to my Gyarados. I get the Intimidate on him. I'm thinking, you know what, Heracross would have handled Blissey, but unfortunately that paralyzation there, and afterwards he's gonna flinch me. I do manage to survive, and I could still rest on the Blissey, and he's rock type, so Waterfall is gonna destroy him. But as you can see, that will not be the case, because the guy's gonna go for the Power Punch after that, and I get yet another flinch. So that was 2 flinches in a row. The reason he got the flinch was because he's running King's Rock, and that's a crit right there. We're talking about Jirachi right here. Yeah, that was definitely a Jirachi in disguise. But ladies and gentlemen, that was pretty incredible. I really enjoyed this match. Triple finish. You definitely did finish me off, but I really did had a blast battling him. And I just want to say that at the end, thinking about it, Heracross being paralyzed was a big thing. I should have not allowed my Lick being taken down like that. I should have still go for that Heal Bell, especially after Mandibuzz being taken down, and I would have not been, you know, risking that paralyzation that did occur. So as you can see, paralyzation 25% is quite a lot when you have every turn to consider, and every turn matters when you're actually competitive playing against a real person and not some artificial intelligence, you know. So real minds are strong, and every turn is important. Greninja was there, and it happened. The game was the game, and I enjoyed it big time. Hope you guys have enjoyed this match as much as I did. Again, great game, triple finish. I will be bringing our second match very soon, so hope you guys are looking forward to that. If you did enjoy this match, be sure to give it a like. Thank you very much, guys, for continued support. Until next time, take care. Peace.